Good morning everybody. Welcome to my English channel. I am Vivek. Today I am going to discuss a poem in your English book. A mother always stands responsible for her daughter whether she known or unknown about the matter. Today I am going to discuss about a topic in your English book, that is the village song was written by Sarojini Naidu. Notably known to all Indians, the Nightingale of India, she was also a great poet. From his childhood, she wrote poems, and this poem, the village song, appeared in her book, The Golden Threshold. And this poem is based on the Indian folk tales. The Indian folk poems deals with customs, beliefs, traditions, superstitions, joys and sorrows of life. In this poem, a mother is pleading with her daughter to wait for the betrothed to arrive. But on the other hand, the daughter wishes to run off to the forest, attracted by the nature. So, generally folk poems are representing the reality of our society. So, now we read the first stanza. Honey child, whither are you going? Would you cast your jewels all to the breezes blowing? Would you leave the mother who one golden grain has fed you? Would you grieve the lover who is riding forth to wed you? First we know the meanings of the words. Whither means where. Whither means where. That means where are you going? Would you cast your jewels? Cast means throw. Throw means nikhepo kariba joda. Would you cast your jewels all to the breezes blowing? Breezes means wind. Blowing means bohiba. Would you leave the mother who one golden grain has fed you? Golden grain means sweet food. Golden grain means suitable food और स्वादिष्ट खाद्य से पारे आउ कौन डिफिकल्ट वर्ड रहा. Would you grieve the lover? Grieve means दुख. Would you grieve the lover who is riding forth to wed you? First आम ओडिया मानाटा बुझीदबा. हनी चाइल्ड तार माँ आड्रेस करुची ता झील को डाकुची हनी चाइल्ड बोली डाकुची. सुना झील बोली डाकुची संबोधन करिकी. व्हिदर आर यू गोइंग, दैट मीन्स व्हेयर आर यू गोइंग. सुना झील तू कुआडे जाउछु. वुड यू कास्ट योर ज्वेल्स ऑल टू द ब्रिजेस ब्लोइंग. तू तोर पवन बहुथुआ बेले तू तोर निक्षेप करू कि तो ज्वेल्स गुड़ी को पवनर बहमान सहित तू निक्षेप करू कि. वुड यू लीव द मदर हु ऑन गोल्डन ग्रेन हैज फेड यू. तते जी सुस्वादु खाद्य खाइबा देछि ताकू तू छाड़देबू कि. वुड यू ग्रीव द लवर हु इज राइडिंग फॉर टू वेड यू. जो पिलाटी तोते बाहा हेबाकू आसुछि ताकू तू दुख देबू कि. सो दिस इज अबाउट द फर्स्ट स्टांजा. So we come to the summary of the first stanza. In the first stanza, the mother addresses her daughter as honey child and asks her where she was going. After knowing her intention, the mother asked her whether she would throw away her jewels to the blowing wind, leaving her mother who has fed her delicate dishes and grief her husband who is coming to marry her. So this is all about the first stanza. But one meaning is different. I think one meaning is different. One meaning, that means, would you cast your jewels all to the breezes blowing? ପବନର ବହମାନ ସହିତ ତୁ ତୋର ଅଳଙ୍କାର ଗୁଡ଼ିକୁ ନିକ୍ଷେପ କରିବୁ କି? ସୋ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନଟ୍ ଦ ରିଅଲ୍ ମିନିଂ. ପବନର ବହିବା ସହିତ କ'ଣ ସୁନା ବା ଅଳଙ୍କାର ଗୁଡ଼ିକ କ'ଣ ଜଣେ ପକାଇଦେବ ବା ଜଣେ ମା ତା ଝିଅକୁ ଅନୁମତି ଦେବ କି ଅଳଙ୍କାର ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ପକାଇଦେବାକୁ? ନା ଝିଅ ଅଳଙ୍କାର ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ପକାଇଦେବ? ତାମାନେ ସେଇଆ ନୁହଁ. କାହିଁକି ପକାଇଦେବ? ଯଦି ତା'ର ୱାର୍ଲଡ ପ୍ଲେଜର ଭିତରକୁ ଯିବାର ନାହିଁ, ତ ଫରେଷ୍ଟକୁ ଯିବାର ଅଛି, ତ ଘରେ ରଖିଦେଇ ଯାଇପାରିବ. So this is not the meaning. The meaning is a mother, every mother collects pie to pie from the birth of her daughter, from the birth of the daughter, and made beautiful dresses for her, ornaments for her. So this is the real meaning. So that means do you not any recollection? Do you have not any recollection of my labor, of your childhood to grown up? So this is the real meaning. Then we come to the second stanza. Mother mine, to the wild forest I am going. Mother mine, to the wild forest I am going, where upon the champa boughs the champa birds are blowing, to the quail haunted river isles, where lotus lilies glisten. The voices of the fairy folk are calling me, oh listen. So what are the difficult meanings? First we come to the difficult meanings. Mother mine, to the wild forest I am going, where upon the champa boughs means branches, dalo, the champa birds means kadha, are blowing. जो डाଳରେ जो चंपा गछर डाଳରେ चंपा कड़ गुड़िक फुटिची. To the quail haunted means frequently visited by any person to any place, that is called the haunted places. आमे जोठी बारंबार जाती ताकू कह जाए haunted. To the quail haunted river isles, the quail haunted. से नदी टापुरे कोइली माने बारंबार यातायात करती. कौटी की? द कोयल हंटेड रिवर आइलस वेयर लोटस लिलीज ग्लिसेन, जोठारे कि पद्म एवं कई फूल गुड़िक फुटे. ग्लिसेन मीन्स शाइनिंग करे. द वॉइसेस ऑफ द फेरी फोक आर कॉलिंग मी, ओ लिसन. दैट मीन्स हियर इन द सेकेंड स्टैंजा the daughter expresses her wish to go to a wild forest. First thing, the forest is full of champa trees, where champa birds are blowing on its branches. The river isles are haunted by quails, lotus and lilies glisten the beauties of the forest. So she also listens the voices of the fairy. That means the beautiful sounds created in the lap of nature, created by the nature. So this is the summary of the second stanza. आमे ओडिया ता मानेटा बुझिबा कोन कहूची ना, मदर माइन टू द वाइल्ड फॉरेस्ट आई एम गोइंग. माँ हे मोर माँ मु सेही वाइल्ड फॉरेस्ट को जीबी, where upon the champa boughs the champa birds are blowing, जोठी चंपा डाल मानकर चंपा कड़ गुड़िक फुटी जो नदी टापुरे कोइली माने जीवासवा करती जोठारे लोटस और लिली गुड़िक चकचक करे से मते जीवाकू परी माने डाकुछंती. द वॉइसेस ऑफ द फेरी folk आर कॉलिंग मी. व्हाट आर द वॉइसेस ऑफ द फेरी folk? The voices, what is the meaning of the voices of the fairy folk? The fairies do not come from the heaven to the earth. So, what is the fairy folks? That means every sounds when collected, that is the sounds of the fairy folk, that is the sounds of the nature. So, the voices of the fairy folk are calling me, oh listen. So, after this, we come to the third stanza. Honey child, the world is full of leisure, of bridal songs and cradle songs and sandal-scented leisure. Your bridal robes are in the loom, silver and saffron glowing. Your bridal cakes are on the hearth. Whither you are going, oh, whither you are going. So in the third stanza, the difficult words are bridal songs and cradle songs. Bridal songs means विवाह संगीत जो गुड़िक विवाह समय जो आनंदपूर्ण संगीत गुड़िक बोला जाए. आउ क्रेडल सॉन्ग्स मीन्स नाना बाया गीत गुड़िक माँ मन खुशी थाए छुआ मन खुशी थाए से जिते नाना बाया क्रेडल सॉन्ग्स गुड़िक बोलू था पिला मानकू धरिकी क्रेडल सॉन्ग्स गुड़िक बोलू था जी ओडिया रे धोरे बाया धो ठीक से भाया से गुड़िक आम क्रेडल सॉन्ग्स बोली कह जाए. सो जिते बड़े ब्राइडल सॉन्ग्स और क्रेडल सॉन्ग्स आनंद दिए एंड सैंडल सेंटेड लिचर सैंडल सेंटेड सुवासित चंदन सुवासित अवसर आम पाती. योर ब्राइडल रॉब्स मीन्स ड्रेस आर इन द लूम मीन्स तंतरे चली जोटा सेफ्रॉन आउ सिल्वर एंड सेफ्रॉन ग्लोइंग करुछि. एवं आउ कौन ना तोर ब्राइडल केक्स हर्थ रे तैयारी चली चुली रे. हर्थ मीन्स चुली रे चली तैयारी. आउ कौन ना ओ व्हिदर आर यू गोइंग. माँ कहूची ता झील को अली करिकी माँ रे तो कुआड़े जाऊछु. तोर बाहाघर केक तैयारी चली तोर बाहाघर ड्रेस तैयारी चली कुआड़े मते छाड़ी जाऊछु. So we know the difficult words. Then we come to the summary of this third stanza. In the third stanza, the mother convinces her daughter. In the third stanza, the mother tries to convince her daughter by telling her the pleasures of the worldly life. The pleasures of the worldly life. दुनियार आनंद विषय माँ झील को कन्भिन्स करने को चाहूँगी. And how marriage is important for one's life. But I don't think that. Here the mother wants to repeat the arrangements made for, like silver and saffron bridal robe and the bridal cake. So this is about the third stanza. Now we come to the fourth stanza. The bridal songs and cradle songs. The bridal songs and cradle songs have cadences of sorrow. What is the meaning of cadences? Cadences means loyo au talo. Cadences means loyo talo. Kou talo re? Dukhor talo. Dukhor loyo re. The bridal songs and cradle songs have cadences of sorrow. The laughter of the sun today, the wind of the death tomorrow, tomorrow for far sweeter sound, the forest knows where forest streams are falling. Oh, mother mine, I cannot stay. I cannot stay. The fairy folk are calling. So this is about the third stanza. So what is the difficult words in the third stanza? One I have already told you, that is the cadences, that means loyo, talo. Second one is the laughter of the sun. What is the meaning of the laughter of the sun? Laughter of the sun means ସୁଖଦ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ, ସୁଖଦ ମୁହୂର୍ତ୍ତ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ, the laughter of the sun, the laughter of the sun. And another is the wind of the death, the wind of the death. What is the meaning of the wind of the death? Means dukha, dukha. Another one is the wind of the death, far sweeter sound the forest notes. Forest notes means forest ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ସଙ୍ଗୀତ ଗୀତ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ, notes, forest notes, where forest streams are falling. Oh, mother mine, I cannot stay. The fairy folk are calling. So we come to the summary of this fourth stanza, last stanza, which is very important stanza. In the final stanza, the daughter says, in the final stanza, the daughter says the truth of the real world. She explains that the bridal songs and the cradle songs will turn into rhythm of sorrows. One day, the happiness of today will be the sorrow of tomorrow, the sorrow of tomorrow. But the world, that means but the world she wishes to go is full of happiness. A world where she neither regrets for anyone nor afraid of death. So all about this poem. So now we come to the scales of this poem. What are the rhyme scheme? A, B, B, C, C, and this is the rhyme scheme of this poem. Honey child, whither are going? Growing, going, blowing. You. Honey child, whither are you going? Last word is going. Would we cast your jewels all to the bridges blowing, going, blowing? A. Would you leave the mother who one golden grain has fed you? Then would you grieve the lover who is riding forth to wed you? So last two words is going, blowing, you. So A, B, B. Then in the second stanza also, mother mine to the wild forest I am going, blowing. Lilies. Then C, D. So in this way, the poet composed this. In this with this rhyme scheme, the poet uses in this poem. And what are the other literary devices we come to know? What are the other literary devices? First one is lexical repetition. What is lexical repetition? What is lexical repetition? To emphasize a image. That means lexical repetition. To emphasize a significant image. That means you, would, and also of, bridal, repetition of bridal. So this is called lexical repetition. Repetition again and again. Another device also the poet uses here. That is enophora, enophora, Enophora means in the beginning of the lines, the poet uses would, your, the. Look at the would. Would you cast? Would you leave? Would you grieve? So would is used in the beginning of the sentence. That is called anaphora. Then another device is also used, that is epiphora. At the beginning, at the end sentences, the words are repeated. That is epiphora. So all these rhyme schemes, all these techniques used in this poem, and I think all you are clear about this poem. Thanks you very much.